friends, today I'm going to show you how to make a wooden phone stand. So first, let's go over the materials needed for this project. You will need a 1/2 by 3.5 by 2 foot board. You'll need 2 clamps, a tape measure, a sanding block or a piece of sandpaper, a pencil, a speed square. If you'd like to stain your wood, you'll need the stain of your choice and an old rag. And then you'll also need safety goggles, a coping saw, and then a miter compound saw. So let's get started. The first step is to measure and mark the first piece at 9 inches. You can come in with the speed square to make a straight line that's easier to follow with the saw, and then go ahead and cut your wood. Then we'll mark and cut the second piece at 5 inches. Now we need to cut grooves for the 2 pieces to slide together. On the 9-inch board, you'll need to make a line at 2 inches. And then you can line the 5-inch board up with that line and make a pencil mark on the other side to measure the thickness. Then we'll need a line in the middle. Since this board is 3.5 inches wide, the center point will be at 1.75 inches. For the 5-inch board, we'll repeat the same steps. The only difference is the starting line will be at 1 inch instead of 2 inches. Before cutting these grooves out, I'm going to erase one of the sides on each board just to avoid any confusion when cutting. In order to cut the grooves out, you'll want to flip your board upright and hold it against the back, and then carefully pull your blade through across your line. Make sure that you bring your blade all the way back up before releasing it. And then after you're done cutting out the groove on the 9-inch board, you'll want to do the same thing for the 5-inch board. Now it's time to cut the grooves out with the coping saw, but you'll first want to apply your 2 clamps to hold the board into place. Now you'll want to slide the saw blade into that groove and pull back and forth with your hands until that wood piece in the middle pops off. And once again, repeat this same process for the 5-inch board as well. You'll want to sand down the inside of the grooves, but if you can't get in there with a piece of sandpaper, you can use one of these sanding files. Now you'll be able to slide the 5-inch piece horizontally into the 9-inch piece. Now we're going to cut out a hole for a charging cord, and you can use your own charging cord as a reference to make your pencil marks. Now this part will take a little bit of finessing, but we're going to use the coping saw once again to cut out that hole for the charging cord. Now that all the pieces are cut out, I'm going to use a sanding block to sand down the edges and make sure everything's smooth. The next step is to stain the wood pieces. So I'm going to use an old rag, and I'm using a golden oak shade for the wood stain, but you can use whichever color you'd like. Make sure that you're following the direction of the wood grain when applying the stain, and also check your instructions to make sure that you allow the stain to set in for the amount of time required. Once the stain has set in, the last step is to apply a protective finish to the wood pieces. I'm using a clear satin polyurethane spray, but you can use whichever kind of finish you would like. And again, make sure to refer to your instructions for drying time. And that's it. Now you can make your very own wooden phone stand. Thanks for watching.